Hey, I'm Brian Van.
I'm Max Van.
And today we're going to recap
MotoAmerica Round 7 at Pittsburgh International Raceway.
Okay, so pit race. Another track that was your first visit to pit race.
Yeah.
How did the weekend go?
Started off rough and then got a little bit better, and then, I didn't do as good as I would have hoped. So it's kind of how it went.
And at the end of the day, that shit happens.
Yeah.
If this were easy, everyone would be doing it. You ended up in race 1, 8th place.
Yeah.
You ended up 9th place in race 2.
Yeah.
And how the weekend really started for us is it started off on kind of a rough note, man.
Really rough note, yeah.
Rough note.
I went out in first practice with a brand new suit, brand new gloves. They looked really good, and I destroyed it in 3 laps. I put a hole in my suit.
Yeah.
At I think turn 14 or something at pit race, and I was just super upset with myself.
Well, and that happens. He went out there in the first practice, and that session does not count for anything. That is the goal during the track session. And he lost that whole first half hour, and he's never been there before. And that puts you so far behind the 8 ball, right, for the weekend. We've experienced this once before. It was last year at Indy.
Yeah.
And even though I was hopeful that we would get a good result on the weekend, Dave and I talked about it, right, when he got back from, you guys got back from Grattan, this week. And he's like, you called it, dude. As soon as you fell, I told him, I said, while we're going to work towards a great result this weekend, this is going to be very difficult to overcome.
Yeah.
And I said, odds are we're going to be on the struggle bus. Yeah. And that's where we ended up.
Yeah.
I think that, when I look back at the last 2 rounds, you've went a little bit backwards.
Yeah, good amount actually.
And that happens, man. This is, once again, I'm going to reiterate, this is really difficult. I do want to say we had a ton of family out at pit race, and the interaction we had with fans.
It was awesome.
Oh, you signed more autographs than maybe any other dude in the paddock. We had to get more posters.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys and girls that take the time to come over, right, and talk to us. We gave away a lot of these T-shirts. We love doing that. We're going to have a bunch for Jersey.
And Barber.
And for Barber, The weekend was great. Regardless of the results, when we go here, we go as a family. We've got some really close friends with us in our pits helping out, Dave and Jimmy. Right, my brother RJ was there.
That was awesome.
Right, Nana and Bop were there.
Yeah, everybody was there.
Baby Bjorn was there. Zandy, and we had a ton of family, and it was awesome to have everyone there. So at the end of the day, while we might not seem like, we're super pumped over the results, we had a hell of a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun, no doubt about that.
Had a hell of a lot of fun. You got to spend a lot of time with your girlfriend, Abby Davis.
Yep.
That's always a plus for you, right? Because she lives in Virginia, you live in Michigan.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, we took away some positives from it. And, I think for me, this is my first year really having a rider competing at this level and trying to manage that. And I learned a few things too. One of the things that I probably need to be doing better with him is I'll run body work that's kind of sort of messed up.
Yeah.
And I'll keep the bike looking only decent, because it's going to happen.
So it looks good on TV, but once you get up close, that's when it's just like,
It doesn't look as good as it could. And now that I think back on that probably doesn't put you out there in the most positive of mindsets, because it's like, hey, does the old man even trust me? He's telling me to wear my old suit in practice, and he's got me out there on scuffed up body work.
Yeah.
So as we move forward, we're going to start off every weekend with the bike looking perfect. Hopefully we end the weekend with the bike looking perfect.
Yeah.
And if we don't, that is what it is. That's understood when you get out there. That's always the possibility that you could fall down, as long as you're not hurt. I honestly don't care if the bike cartwheels and explodes midair. I can get you another bike. That's not a problem, right? I can't make another son. That would be very difficult. So once again, hopefully you're always okay. So, we're kind of learning. So what are we doing? What do we do to get ready for Jersey? Because we did do some things.
we just kind of talked about, what's going on. Like, literally, we had a conversation at pit race on the end of Sunday after the weekend was over, and we said, what's going on? And I said, honestly, I miss doing track days. I miss riding with no pressure, So this weekend, or this past weekend, my dad couldn't make it, but I went with Dave Bavel, one of our mechanics, good friend of ours. He took me to Grattan and had a lot of fun.
Man, I got to tell you, I was in Hocking Hills with my wife. She rented this kick-ass tree house there. If anyone, it's in kind of southeastern Ohio. This place is amazing. She had this all teed up. It was bitching. It's always great to spend time with her. We have a lot of fun together. So I couldn't take him.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's ever ridden a motorcycle without me there. It was different. There's very few people in the world that I would trust with him, and Dave Bavel is 100% at the top of the list of people that I would trust. And also, I want to say thanks to the people at Sportbike Track Time.
Yeah.
It's where we learned how to ride.
Yep, where I learned how to ride.
That's our home track.
Yeah, good to see my coaches again.
Every one of those guys and girls knows you and loves you, right? You've got a lot of close relationships there. So there's a lot of trust for the organization and the people that staff it too, because this is a big deal, man. I mean, he's 15 years old, and to send him off, without one of us there, for me, it was a big deal, and it turned out great. And let's talk about that weekend, because of course anyone who's watching this who knows Dave Bavel, knows that you guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's like going to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was.
But in Belding, Michigan, right?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, we went from hanging out with a bunch of people, setting, lap records on my R3 that were previously on my Ninja 400, and we rode 15 miles down a highway on Zuma scooters to get dinner, illegally.
Well, I wouldn't say those words out loud, but...
Fun.
Sure.
Fun.
Yeah. It's racetrack life.
Yeah, racetrack life.
Anyone who's spent a lot of time at the racetrack... he's one of the lucky kids in this country that's kind of gotten to grow up at a racetrack. It's a different kind of upbringing. It produces really mature kids, and you get to do some really cool shit along the way.
A lot of fun.
So let's talk about the bike. We put him on his old R3 because I couldn't send him on the Ninja because, you blow a motor or something happens, throw it on the ground. I got to get this thing ready for Jersey. I'm trying to get the Black Dragon back together. That's my Trans Am. I got the cylinder heads and everything off. There would be no time.
Yeah.
So I took this R3 and I made this bike perfect. This has a Hanshaw motor in it, right? MR12 fuel. We've dialed in the gearing previously for Grattan Raceway, K-Tech front. This is a nice bike, right? And I've really spent a lot of time on this. I had a whole new set of bodywork. I mounted it up, made this thing look absolutely perfect.
Just rode well. It's not as fast as the 400, but it moved for sure.
Oh, and you took it to Grattan and you used it and you put it through its paces.
Yeah.
And that's probably the last ride on this bike. I think now it's time to put a for sale sign on this one and send her on down the road. But
let's just say whoever gets this bike is going to be really lucky, and I may cry. So
it's a great bike. Well, it's your first bike.
That's my first bike.
Yeah, this is your first bike when you really get down to it. First one you ever rode on the racetrack. But this is a spectacular machine, and you took it there and 27.1 at Grattan on a
going 118, 117 miles an hour on the front straightaway.
And this is no overbore. This is it's a stock bore R3. It is a Hanshaw build. I forget the power number that it makes, but
probably mid-40s, somewhere around there.
Excellent motorcycle. But for anyone that rides Grattan, that doing a 27.1 on a Yamaha R3, that's pretty wicked. That's pretty fast.
And I'm not that light either. I'm like 164 pounds. So.
Yeah, no, you rode good.
Yeah.
Now, the idea here was to go to Grattan and kind of, you remember that time when I raced Weir there and I was just riding like shit, and you took my lap timer, and remember when you could put little messages in it?
Yeah.
What'd you put in there?
Get your balls back.
Get your balls back, Dad. You kind of needed to go to Grattan and do what?
Do the same thing.
You need to go there and get your balls back. Based on how you rode, I would say you probably have located both testicles and they're reinstalled, ready to rock and roll.
Out of my stomach.
So now we're heading to Jersey. And let's talk a little bit about that because we're excited about that. We're sharing a garage with the Lemandries. Joe Lemandry Sr., Joe Lemandry Jr., Anthony from Baus Racing, Pablo. These are some good dudes. We don't get to see them at every round because they don't do every round. but out of all the people that
Yeah.
we've met there, and I mean, we've made a lot of friends, a lot of these kids,
Yeah.
I like all these kids, right?
Really good people.
100%. Joe and his dad, and Anthony and Pablo, for me, they're definitely, you know, kind of one of those standout relationships. You know, I really like Joe a lot. You know, he reminds me of you in a lot of ways. You know, Joe's a hard worker. Joe's a scrapper. That's one of the things I really like about Joe, you know, and he just gets after it. He pushes so hard.
He's a little dude, but he doesn't care.
No, Joe
dude, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, if he's throwing a punch, you can guarantee it's uppercut every time.
Yeah.
Every time. I mean, this kid just rides so hard. We were at Pitt. Joe got a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Yeah, he did really good. Set like the fastest laps of the weekend too, or weekend two, which is pretty cool. So
he absolutely crushed it. So getting to share a garage with Joe, I think, is also going to be good because Joe's like, it's his home track. It's Jersey.
yeah,
You know, he's like, I'll take Max out. He's like, I'm not slowing down for him. He goes, but he can ride with me whenever he wants. So I think, you know, even just, you know, kind of starting off with that attitude, you know, I think, and having your buddy there to, you know, basically show you the line, I think it's going to be a great benefit and really can hopefully tee up a good weekend for us.
no doubt about it.
And then most importantly is let's go there and have fun and get a good result, the best that we can. And then Barber at the end of the year, that's really the one that
I know
think
that.
you have
I know
your eye
that
on.
track pretty well. Yeah, that's. I'm really excited for that round.
Yeah, we're gonna, you know, we built some momentum. You had a good weekend last weekend riding at Grattan. You know, we're gonna go to Jersey, man. We're gonna get after it, and have a great weekend. And then we're gonna come right home. And this is back-to-back weekends for us. So Max and I are leaving next Wednesday. Set up Thursday, practice Friday, qualify, race Saturday, race Sunday, drive home halfway, drive home rest of way, home midday Monday, home all day Tuesday, wake up Wednesday morning, adios muchacho,
Leave.
Barber Motorsports Park, here we come. One of the kick-ass things about Barber is my GSXR 1000 is going to be in that trailer because we're riding Monday with Sportbike Track Time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take that Suzuki with those 1,000 ancient samurai warriors between the fairings, and I'm going to show him what's up.